Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Today is Thursday, May 29th, 2025. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Yep, just about 6 o'clock in the morning. Here we are in southwestern Nevada, west of Sin City, east of Death Valley, and south of Area 51. In Art Bell territory. Right. So that's where we are. And we are, I think I'll leave the lighting that way. We are here to talk about stress today, but our overriding goal is to help our students and interested people experience life. So we are, if you believe in the Bible, perhaps other religions, we are more than just atoms in the void. We have a soul that continues after death. And we happen to believe that what happens after death is related to what happens before death, how you behave before death. In other words, it does matter. And so our goal is to help our students and other people experience life in such a way that what happens next is better than this. Okay? And along the way to help put some things in perspective, like the concept of pain and suffering. But today we're going to be talking about stress. So in our approach to helping people experience this life, we focus on 4 different dimensions of experiencing this life. Physically experiencing it, mentally experiencing it, emotionally experiencing it, and spiritually experiencing it. Most of the week, we spend most of our time talking about the first 3. Physically experiencing, mentally and emotionally experiencing life. And on weekends, we talk mostly about the spiritual side, the most important side, because life here is very short compared to eternity. It's like the width on a hair of our head compared to a 7-mile walk, 7.84-mile walk, actually. Very, very short. So you don't really have, so if you look at suffering in the context of time, no amount of suffering we have is more than a thought compared to eternity. It just doesn't matter. As Undersergeant Ordinaire Maticus von Atticus would say when he is trying to imitate Charlene. So today we're going to be talking about stress, because it's a big part of most people's lives. And is it good? Is it bad? Is it up? Is it down? Is it left? Is it right? Is it a fugazi? What is it? So we're going to talk about that, but let us first talk about, where to go? Let's first talk about advice from an 80-year-old. Good morning, Maticus von Atticus. Is the video choppy? Seems like it's a little bit slow on this end. So advice from an 80-year-old, don't burn bridges. You never know. You'll be surprised how many times you have to cross the same river. Don't burn bridges. Right. Seems like people over at STAR might be burning bridges. I can't really talk more about that because I don't know more than that. But here we are. And again, our theme of today is don't burn bridges. Seth Godin talking about hallucinations in human work. That's another long one. And it's a longie, so we're not going to get into that right now, maybe a little bit later. We're definitely going to talk about stress. This is day 4 in week 2 inside our skull-sized kingdom. So does stress belong inside our skull-sized kingdom? Where does it originate? Right, stress originates up here. It manifests out here, but it starts here. If you think something is stressful, guess what? To you, it is. I've been making an emergency, shameless plug for emergency. I've taken these virtually every day since 1986. 14 and 25, 39 years, about 39 years. This has been pretty much part of my daily routine. Kind of crazy, right? And I got started on it by Jay Patrick, the founder of the company. It's called Alistair. I don't remember where the name came from, but anyway. Where are we? Okay, talking about stress. Just looking to see if there's anything else we're going to talk about. No, let's just talk about that because it's such a big, important part of our day. Okay, so today's TED Talk is Kelly McGonigal, who is or was part of the Stanford gang, the Carol Dweck, Aaliyah Crum, Duckworth crowd. And I mean that in a positive way. Mine on growth mindset and what was Duckworth? Grit. Yeah, grit. Mindset. Leah Crum is mindset. Duckworth is grit. Carol Dweck is growth mindset. Moving people forward through life. And you could see those 4 things. Having a growth mindset, being very gritty, having grit, having focusing on your mindset placebo effect, and today it's stress. Stress is the debilitating one, maybe, or does it push you forward? How about you, Maticus Phonaticus? What does stress do for you? Does it make you perform better or worse? Generally, I get that it depends. I did go to law school. I graduated from law school, so I get that it depends is the most common answer, the most safe, correct answer. It depends. But how is it for you? Does stress make you do better or worse? Do you look forward to stress or do you look away from stress? So Kelly McGonigal says, we have been conditioned to believe stress is bad. And she's got the studies to show that it's not stress that's bad, it's our fear of stress that's bad. Stress is just our body's natural response to something going on outside of us or in our mind, or both. Our heart beats faster, our blood vessels constrict, so the blood circulates faster. So if there's any hormones in there, any chemicals in there that we need in other parts of our body, they get there quickly. That's it. It's designed to keep us alive. So if you happen to be a caveman out on the savannah, I'm not really sure why I'm doing this, but if you happen to be out on the savannah with a little pointed stick looking for food and a bush rustles, it isn't going to be a good strategy to either fight or flight. You need a little bit of time to figure out what to do. Because if it's fight or flight and you hear the bush rustle and you decide to fight, but it's unfortunately a lion, you are going to meet a quick end. On the other hand, if it's a rabbit, you're going to go hungry. So cortisol is a chemical that, let's just say, it acts like a brain freeze. It locks us in place. It gives us time to think about what's happening, but at the same time, in case we need to run or strike, we have the energy to do it. So to me, it's like before you take off on a jet airplane, on a Boeing 727, whatever, they're at the end of the runway ready to get started. The pilot guns the engines, but he has the brake on, so the plane won't go. So when he's told go for it, when he's given the signal to launch, as soon as he takes his foot off the brake, boom, the thing is out of the gate. Think of cortisol acting like the brake. While everything else is getting ready to respond, the cortisol is getting it, so we kind of have, I'll describe it as brain freeze, don't know what to do quite yet, getting a little bit more information so that when I'm ready, I can either attack the bush or flee. Because fight or flight is not a good response, is not usually a good response. But I need to have the energy and the wherewithal to actually do it. So cortisol comes in, and that is known as the stress hormone, because when we are under stress, we get cortisol released. And again, just think of it acting like a brain cloud or a brake on a jet. Don't know what to do. And you've heard the expression, or maybe experience of being scared stiff. You're so scared you don't know what to do. Okay, that's cortisol. Analecrum has the stats, has the information to show cortisol is not bad in itself. It's just a chemical that's designed to create a brain clot, my terms. What's bad is having cortisol continue to drip, 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 or flow out of our brain, because when cortisol is going, other things are not going. So as Simon Sinek says, yesterday is, when you are in a really bad situation, you don't need your fingernails to be growing. So all of our energy, everything is focused on what could be survival. You don't need to be doing a lot of things. So our immune system doesn't really need to work when we are in a fight or flight situation. We need all of our energy for survival, or our perception of that, our body's perception of that, our brain's processing on that. So if you are in constant stress, if you're always stressed and there's drip, drip, drip cortisol, your immune system goes down. So we've all noticed people who are constantly sick. And if you look at the people, or if you kind of observe them, they're always worried about something. Something's always getting them. They're not joyful, happy people. They're not carefree people. They might act like it on the outside, but if you observe them, you can tell, yeah, when I observe that person and they don't think they're being observed, yeah, something's eating away at them. Yeah, cortisol is eating away at them. Their stress hormone is up. They're worried about something. Something isn't going right for them. And it could be as simple as they just don't have any meaning or purpose. Something's not right in my life. I don't know what it is, but it's just not right in my life. Drip, drip. And on the other hand, I would say you see people who are in good physical health and they might be doing stressful things, but the stress is not bothering them. They're not, cortisol isn't the thing. And so part 2 of Kelly McGonigal, heading towards the finish line now. Part 2 of Kelly McGonigal is oxytocin, the cuddle hormone. And Simon Sinek talked about it Tuesday as well. So it's the cuddle hormone. So what it does is it sort of counteracts cortisol, or maybe stops the flow of cortisol. So it relaxes, it dilates, it relaxes the blood vessels. So there's less pressure on the heart. And she says it attaches to the heart to repair the damage done by cortisol, which would explain why when we have this feeling of love, we feel it in our heart. So Kelly McGonigal would probably say that's because cortisol is attaching to the heart to repair. Oxytocin is attaching to the heart, helping fix any damage done by cortisol. Okay, so what do we do about it? Okay, so you've got cortisol is the thing that constricts our blood vessels, gets the blood to flow faster so that we have more, so that the chemicals in our blood gets to where it needs to be faster. Our brain, everything works faster, so time seems to slow down. That is our body's natural response to things. That is not bad. What's bad is for it to be dripping all day long, like a drippy faucet. Got to turn it off. So one way to turn it off is by oxytocin, or at least mitigate it, is oxytocin. Overwhelm it, perhaps. So Mother Teresa could be an example. Really highly stressful life all day long, people wanting something from her. In her brain, she flips it around and releases a lot of massive amounts of oxytocin, which enables her to do what she does because she's doing it for love. She sees Jesus in the people she's dealing with, the lepers and people she's dealing with. So Kelly McGonigal then goes to show the stats, and the one study we've got time to talk about is they took a group of people, a large group of people, divided in half, showed each half a movie where the video was the same on the movie. What they saw was the same. What they heard was the same. The words on the screen were different. So one group of people had words on the screen that matched what they saw, but the words were tending positive statements about stress. Stress makes us perform better, type of things. The other group watched a video, same graphics. Well, the video was the same, the audio was the same, but on theirs, the message on the screen were words that was stress is bad. Okay, so they saw and heard the same video, but the words that were on the screen were different. And then they went back and they studied the people, and they found that, the people who were watching words that said stress is bad performed less good. They were less healthy than the people who watched things saying stress is good. So Kelly McGonigal's point is stress is not bad. It's the fear of stress that's bad. And other people were taught to get, when they noticed they were in stressful situations, say, that's my body's natural response to what's going on. Is what's going on necessary? You deconstruct it, you break it down, and then you overcome stress. And so with that, we're going to say, and cut. Thank you for being there, people, and cut.